everybody, and welcome once again to the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. My name is Mike Parker, your host, and joining me right now, the guest of honor, the man who everybody wants to find out. He's just the most interesting man in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He is the Brewmaster, Artie Tafoya. Artie, how's it going?
Great, Mike. Great to be here with you in the old studio here at Appalachian Brewing Company, and glad to be back in and hanging with you.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of friends in over the past couple of weeks. You know, we've talked about everything from the food to the live entertainment. So now we're back here. You're the Brewmaster. So first of all, cheers to you, Artie.
Cheers.
We're just before Christmas, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and what are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking the rye IPA. It's really good. It's got sort of an earthiness to it, a little bit of nuttiness with the rye, and enough hops there just to carry everything off.
Awesome. It's good. I read about it in the December Brews Letter. You can sign up for the Brews Letter at abcbrew.com. Get yourself on the mailing list. We'll get you all sorts of cool information. Appreciate you listening to the podcast, but the Brews Letter is a monthly visit with your friends at ABC. Let you know exactly what's going on. And it's a fun read every month. I look forward to it. In my glass is the holiday beer here at ABC. Grinnin' Grizzly. Delicious. It reminds me of, I don't know if the base beer is the right thing to say, but it reminds me of kind of like a Jolly Scott with a little bit of holiday spice.
That's right. It's a similar type of beer, I'd say. It's got that little bit more of a malty characteristic to it. The nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel definitely go in and add that nice spicy flavor to it that, just is great this time of year.
It's like the beer that I take to every holiday party ever, and I have been for years. And people like it because it's not like when you said, there's like the nutmeg and the clove and stuff like that. It's not like taking a bite of pumpkin pie or anything like that, but it leaves a nice little aftertaste sort of on the lips. You lick the lips and you've had something special.
Yeah, you've had that little bit of spice there. And that, this time of year, that beer, sitting around a fire, just hanging out with friends at your house or wherever, we try to stay warm right now.
Right.
It's a little chilly outside. It just works well with everything at this time of year. And what's better to have a good spicy beer to open your presents with family and friends, right?
Exactly. And share it with somebody who who hasn't had it before. It's just one of those good beers. It's a specialty offering, so stop into your local ABC Brew Pub. Look what's going on the seasonal beer menu, and Grinnin' Grizzly, a great holiday recommendation. So I don't know, we thought we'd start things off this week. Let's just talk a little bit about it. I mean, we're recording this right now, just a little bit over a week away from Christmas, and it's just such a reflective time. We're almost at the end of the year. You look back and you think, man, 2019 flew by, and what are we looking forward to here as we get into the holidays? Let's talk about some traditions. Traditions here around ABC. Artie, what's it like? What was your first Christmas like here back in like 96, 97? And how's it evolved to now?
Well, I'll tell you, back then we could hardly afford a Christmas tree when we opened. So, I think I can't remember what the size is, but it's grown every year as we've been able to afford a bigger and bigger tree. Right? And so now one of my favorite things is I go out to Groover's tree farm now,
okay. And
I used to meet with Bob Groover, but he's starting to retire, so I'm working with his son now, and we walk around the field and he shows me all the 14 to 16 foot trees, and and then he cuts it down afterwards. Once we pick a tree and mark it, he cuts it down and then delivers it to us, and then we get the job of putting it up here in the restaurant. So
nice.
It's always fun, and Steph Dodge, who's been with us forever, she's been
everybody
20
knows
some
Steph.
years.
Yep.
She's been working here, and she's engineer by day and bartender extraordinaire by night and Sundays. So but she decorates it, and she does a great job. It's been awesome.
That's a family tradition, like we actually used to cut down a fresh tree all the time, and we would go to a friend's house up in northern Dauphin County, 15-20 minutes out, outside of Harrisburg, and a friend of ours had a Christmas tree farm, and it's where we used to go all the time. We moved to Maryland for 3-4 years, moved back, and we went up there. Hey, it's time to go cut the tree. We went up there, and a little bit we didn't know he shut the place down. But he was home, and he said, "Hey, I still got a couple, old ones. They haven't been trimmed or anything out there." So I remember me and my wife going and And we said, well, I'm sort of embarrassed, but he sort of insisted, and he gave me the best price ever, free $99. You know?
I love that.
So I had the saw with me, and my friend's name is Gary, and Gary used to always say, it's not about the money. We don't really make a whole lot of money off these trees. He's like, every time we planted one of these things, sort of like your friends over at Groover's, it's like you look forward to seeing the people every year. Right. Sure, we'll take your money because we're running this business and it's an experience, but much like coming into ABC, saying it's almost like the neighborhood cheers for a lot of people who come back year after year, picking out a Christmas tree. It's like that, just seeing old friends.
That's right. And, we see the Groovers down here all the time.
They pay you back.
They do pay us back a little bit. Yeah, no, they do come in quite often. And, it's great to support local businesses too, Mike. We've always been about that at Appalachian Brewing Company.
Right. That's a good point. So, perfect transition because, I was thinking about it. People ask me all the time. Because it seems like a new brew pub will pop up, here and there. People like to try new things, and I'm all for that. You're all for that. Let's expand. Let's have great stuff to compare ourselves to, and all around central Pennsylvania and beyond, so that we can say we're ABC beers are compared to this beer, and it's a great community of craft beer lovers. But the one thing that ABC has that other places don't is the history going way back, much like cutting down a fresh Christmas tree in a field, fresh and natural from the start.
That's right, Mike. We were fresh and natural before fresh and natural was cool. I always felt that way. And, our name, I think I talked about this in one of our previous podcasts, but our name really led itself to the outdoors, the naturalness of the Appalachian Trail and the Appalachian Mountains. And, we picked that name because of those aspects of it. But also we lived it, which was the really cool thing. And, and being one of the people who's led this operation for a long time now, every time we had a meeting, we would always talk about how does that meet with our culture? And our culture is to do everything as fresh and natural as possible from everything that we brew. Of course, beer's fresh and natural anyway, right?
Yeah, well, most of it certainly can go the other direction if you want to, but you're right.
Sure, if it comes from Europe and it's in a tanker car for,
right.
a boat for 6 to 8 months or whatever, I don't know how long it takes.
It might be natural, but at that point it's not fresh.
That's right. And but it's a natural process, and that's what I love about brewing in the first place. But then we carry it into all of our other products. Pure cane sugar in our sodas, gluten-free, caffeine-free in those sodas, the same type of thing. Our food. We don't buy food from national purveyors. We buy food from local purveyors that provide fresh product to us, and they usually use more local sources. So, keeping those dollars local helps everybody in our community,
right.
No matter how you look at it. And the really cool thing about it is it allows us and our people who work in our kitchens. I know you had a discussion with Chef Kyle not too long ago, and I wish he would brag a little bit more because I listened to the podcast and I wondered, why isn't he talking about the hard work that he puts in every day to make sure that our food's fresh? And he looks at it. I don't think Kyle looks at it like it's something special. That's normal for him, right? Because he's been doing it for so long. Everything that we bring in, no prepackaged foods. Very few frozen items. Our freezers are half full in most cases because we really don't bring anything, very few things in frozen anyway. Just, of course, there's some things like French fries and those types of things. But other than that, right. I mean, very, very few items that we see on our menu that are not produced fresh, either that day or a previous day.
It sort of like all ties together with the holidays because a lot of people are doing shopping right now, and I'm still looking for a last-minute gift. I have no idea, Artie. I've been married 16 years to Tara. I have no idea what she wants. When you're married so long, people can relate to this. You buy what you need during the year. You need it, you want it. Let's get it. We've worked hard. Let's go. Let's do this. Christmas in my house is sort of for the kids. Although I still like to try to get her something special, it's just getting harder and harder. But you mentioned the part about buying local. You want to support your local retailers as much as you can, and if a food purveyor is one of those local retailers, then you do that. And then when all things have when you know you can't get it, And you're not, then maybe that's when you go a little bit somewhere else, like for something special. And that's what I mean, like the online shopping. I can sort of buy anything in the world online or at the big, box store and be like everybody else, and that's fine. It's all about the presentation in a lot of ways. Being local, buying something from somebody that you might run into next week and be able to tell them, man, that was the greatest thing I ever bought, or the same thing, man, we made a great dish. We turned that into some great beer. And all those things are, when you say pay each other back, it's sort of like, hey, man, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
That's right. There's plenty of people who have local businesses that I see in here all the time at our different locations. And, I can't thank them enough for their support. But, we also try to pay it back. And we've always tried to do that in everything that we've done. I mean, even down, Mike, to the entertainment that we have here. We don't, and there's nothing wrong with top 40 bands, right? I don't have a problem with them. But we do things that are more organic, bluegrass, jam bands, those types of things that bring in that consumer that appreciates craft beer. Not saying that there's some craft beer guys out there that don't like top 40, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that, these people are great artists. They love their music, they love their instrument, and it shows on stage when you see them play. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be a part of the Abbey Bar and the entertainment and everything else that the concept of what we've tried to create here.
Right. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Abbey Bar coming up. The holiday season is upon us. A great place to have a holiday gathering, whether it's your office party. People end up here all the time for the very first time because, well, my wife's business, had their holiday party at ABC. Next thing you know, we're joining the Mug Club. So why don't we talk about that real quick? Artie, we're going to take a break. We'll let everybody know about some upcoming events that are happening here as we head into the new year. And we'll be right back on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. All right, so we talked about the Mug Club. And Artie, I want to talk a little bit about, how this thing started, how you can get involved. I was a Mug Club member for so many years, moved away. One of the things I missed, I'd end up at these other craft breweries. I felt like just another number. But at the Mug Club at Appalachian Brewing Company, no matter which location you're at, there are benefits to being a Mug Club member. Tell me about it.
Well, that's right, Mike. The Mug Club here at ABC is special. And we have people who've been in the Mug Club since year one, and they all know each other. They come here because they know each other. We've created groups of friends from this place, right? Mm-hmm. I hear people, hey, yeah, we're going over to what's-his-name's house. They didn't even know each other till they met at the brewery, right? So, it's these guys who come in on Monday night, and I shouldn't say guys, it's and I almost said it's more like a fraternity, but it's a sorority and fraternity.
Right.
Because men and women alike enjoy what we do. They come in, they get their special treatment for being in the Mud Club. Not that we don't treat everybody good, but we know just because they're in more often, we usually know their names, we know what they're about, and the great thing is they've over the time we've changed our benefits a little bit, right? So everything changes as we go, but people have stuck with us, and this year we actually aligned our Mug Clubs. I don't know if you remember, but we used to renew like Gettysburg one time, and then a month
maybe
later
in February,
and
then right, and then and a lot of that was because we didn't open all of our brew pubs over the course of the years on the exact same date. So
that's right.
We didn't want to wait 5 or 6 months sometimes to get things rolling. So you offered the Mug Club at a different time of year.
Sure, when you opened, everybody wanted to get in the Mug Club, right? So we started it then, or we would give them a free month and start it the month after. But truly, we always wanted to. And after 22 years, we finally are aligning all the Mug Clubs.
After 22 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good, huh? I was right on that one. But, so this year they're all aligned. So every Mug Club from here on out will be March 1st renewal. Okay. And that's just the way we're going to approach it. What it does, it aligns us in so many different ways so that each location's running through the same processes at the same time.
Yeah.
That's really the biggest thing for us. We have adapted some of the benefits, but all in all, it's pretty much stayed the same over the 22 years. A little changes here or there, but the aligning of the Mug Club has been something that was a pretty big project, and I give Sam and Joe and the whole team here kudos for getting it done.
All right, so when you come in to your ABC location, you see all the mugs hanging around, you say, how do I get involved with that? This is the time, right? Right around now is when you want to start. Maybe ask your bartender. I'm becoming a regular here. Maybe I'm spending a little too much time here.
Yeah, you know my name,
right? I know your name. I knew the two people before you. And all of a sudden the people down the bar aren't strangers anymore. Maybe it's time for me to sort of sign the line here. It really is not. When you say it's an investment, it's really an investment in fun. It's an investment in friendship, and like you said, it's also a value. So some of the benefits of being a Mug Club member, I'll name the first one. You get your own mug. You'll have it for a year. Never drink out of somebody else's glass.
That's right. You get your own mug. It hangs up here. It's got your name on it, and it is your number, and it's what you use to drink out of anytime you're here. Also, if you go to one of our other locations, though, we do have guest mugs, and you would then be drinking out of a guest mug, but you still get your benefits even if you're not at your home location, which is great, right? And, if you think about the Mug Club, I always tell people this. It's probably the same cost as a date night out, right? Mm-hmm. And so one date night out, hey, take your date night off and buy a Mug Club membership. Get on the waiting list because they all renew, like I said, on March 1st. So you got until then, if you're not a Mug Club member, to renew or to get into on the waiting list. But then if you are a Mug Club member, you need to renew by the end of February.
A couple of the standard things, like Mugger Monday is a thing. So when you come in, it's half-price appetizers. Is that still a deal?
That's right. Half price of the special appetizers that we have. And also, beer specials. We have beer specials on that same day, only for Mug Club members. So it really is an exclusive club that you join, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you that.
I can tell you, I don't know how much it happens anymore, but an old Mug Club, tale of however I messed this up. But I was always number like 463 or something. I don't even remember what I was. It wasn't. It was something in like the 400s. And maybe 300s. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. But 347. That was my number.
347. Good.
All right. But I was a Mug Club member for over 10 years. And I remember sitting next to a guy one time at the bar, and I said, wow, you're like number 16. I'm like, you must have been here a while. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, he's only like 22 years old. And he's like, no, I just asked for a low number or whatever. And I said, I can ask for a low number. And I don't know how much that happens. But sort of one of the things is, there's number one and there's number two. And if you can hold on to those numbers, like the lower the number for many people is almost like the goal over the years is to try to, get yourself down. It sort of shows longevity within the club. And I was too stupid to know to do that. So I just wanted the same number, I guess, every year, where I should have been, I should have had higher goals for myself.
347. How that's, maybe you're on the top side.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
I
was the highest number.
Right. I think you had 500 here at Harrisburg. I was going for 500. Who knew I could have got it every year? All right. So you want to join the Mug Club? It's easy to do. Come in, talk to your bartender at the bar. Just say I'm interested. They'll get you an application. You can also read all about it abcbrew.com and just search for the Mug Club. I don't know if that was a commercial, Artie, or what that was, but we talked about the Mug Club, and I wanted to let people know because it's just such a great deal. And I don't even know if we said it, but I think there's another benefit, 10% off. Is that right?
All your food purchases, that's right.
Okay.
All your food purchases, 10% off.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. The Mug Club is an awesome thing. Get involved if you can. Get on the waiting list. It's worth your time. And you'll probably get on the Mug Club faster than you'll get the Steelers season tickets or something that you've been waiting 23 years for.
That's right. Okay. It'll be a lot cheaper.
All right. So let's talk. I don't know if we'll get into this, and because I don't know if we'll get another podcast in before the new year. Things are so busy. So this is, we're less than a week from Christmas, which means we're 2 weeks and counting from New Year's. 2020. Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable.
It's an incredible date. I don't know to say we're fortunate to be alive in 2020, but it's cool. It's it'll make a cool T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, that was the future. Remember?
Oh my god! Right, we're supposed to have flying cards and hoverboards by now.
The Jetsons. Shouldn't
I just be dropping a small pill on my tongue and
That's right.
having it taste like the entire meal, including the beer? I don't know if that was Willy Wonka. What I'm confusing that with?
No.
2020, Artie. What's coming up here with ABC?
Well, we've been planning, spend a lot of time here at the brewery planning. We need to put together a whole marketing budget, our marketing program. Everything that we do in 2020 really has to be in place by the end of the year. So, we spend a lot of time at the end of the year working on all that stuff. Continuing to try to make improvements not only in our processes here at the brewery, but also in our menu development, our facilities. We have projects going on all the time. As they get older. I mean, Harrisburg.
Another year older.
Another year older. They take a little bit of a beating from the as busy as they are. So we have to go back in and try to freshen them up. And our goal is always to keep, just like our beer and just like everything else we do, we want to keep our locations fresh. Mm-hmm. So when you walk in the door, it looks clean, it looks fresh, it looks like a place you want to eat.
At this point, this building, your headquarters in Harrisburg, I mean, you're over 20 years in, which is incredible in the craft brewing industry. I mean, you're one of the legacy names at this point when you go back. There's been so many startups and failures along the way too, and people that have moved around to different places. Yeah, you're basically a pioneer here in this part of the country as far as craft brewing goes. So it's hard to come up with original ideas, or do we sort of, I don't know, do we ever take any sort of cues from pop culture or different trends of things that are happening? You always want to be the one who others are looking at for to catch up to, but let's be honest, at times you got to. I've got 10-year-old kids and they're better at technology. I have different interests than me, and if I want to stay relevant with them, even as a parent, I've got to stay fresh. I've got to have fresh ideas. Mm-hmm. And you struggle with the same thing?
We do, and there's a lot of things because of our size. There's a lot of things we can't do, and that's unfortunate in a way. But we're hiring younger, brighter, amazing young people who have great ideas, and our brewers are younger, and definitely younger than you and I, Mike. But so when we look at that, those people are driving our ideas now, and that's great. I really love that about having new people come into our business, and they just turn into great people, and that's so nice to see. Also, those smaller breweries that are coming in, they can be a little more free with their ideas,
adventurous, maybe.
Yeah, a little more adventurous, because they're working on this little scale, and they all they have to do is for their customers. But we do have our customers come to us and go, "Hey, I saw this at the small brewery. Can you guys do something like that?" And we try to accommodate wherever possible. But there are times where we look at a project and go, "You know what? On a 100-barrel brewing system, I don't think I can pull this off." Now we do have the smaller ones now, so we're doing a lot more of that stuff. But all in all, Mike, we're doing our best to try to stay up with technology, mm-hmm. stay up with the trends, but also be true to ourselves, be true to what we do and what we've been to all of our customers. Not try to recreate ourselves as something new, right? You can't take a 22-year-old business and all of a sudden say, "Oh, now all of a sudden we're this," right? It just doesn't work. And I think that's what most of our customers appreciate about us, is we really are true to ourselves.
I think I'll ask you a question based on that. And I'm looking at my pint glass right now. You guys obviously have marketing, and you ask people their opinions. And there's from time to time, there's different merchandise and thing that comes around. But if I'm looking at Appalachian Brewing Company as a brand, the old logo with the local to Harrisburg and the Susquehanna River is the the Rockville Bridge and that logo that's been around with the banner at the bottom and the beautiful logo. It is the most beautiful craft beer logo in all of the business. I don't care what anybody says. But I'm looking at the pint glass in my hand right now. It's a different logo. Do you have any ideas? Can you give me an idea of what this one? It's a circular logo with some evergreen like pine trees in there. Like I know it fits the brand, but when did you guys sort of make that switch that we're seeing some secondary logos sort of make their way into the brand?
2019 was a great year for us, and we changed marketing companies. Although we have been around a long time, we still want to be young, we still want to be good, we still want to be relevant, and that's important. So one of the things we did this year is we changed our logo up a little bit. Now, you'll still see on everything that we do, you'll still see that old logo on there because that's our brand. We can't let our brand go. Mm-hmm. We can't waver from something we've developed and created value in for so much time. But our new logo is much simpler. It's much easier to use. It truly, Mike, we were drinking a beer one day, and it created a little circular ring on the napkin. And we looked at that and we said, "Wow, look at that." I can imagine a little Appalachian Brewing Company in there. And the next thing you know, they worked up a prototype. Our artist who does a lot of our development looked at it and said, "Yeah, let me work on that." Came up with a couple things. We sort of put it on the shelf for a little bit. We'd come back to it. We'd make some changes until we got it just right. It probably took 6 to 8 months. But once we got it, then we sort of ran with it, and we felt really good about it.
But I love it. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why. Because I got my wife a sweatshirt that has it on it, and she loves it. Because I see her, she's got this old Appalachian Brewing Company fleece that she's had. And one of the worst stories ever. So I've historically had hard times, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, buying my wife Christmas gifts. So one year I bought her, if I'm an Appalachian Brewing Company fan, my wife, Tara, loves it even more. She's
that's great.
She just is, it's sort of where we dated, before we got married. So it's always been part of our life. And, whenever we have people in town, family members, they sort of know. Whenever we have people over, for holiday parties, it's Water Gap Wheat, Mountain Lager, and something else, that we might have, like variety pack along the way. But I'll buy her like a sweatshirt. And we went to a friend's wedding in Bethlehem, and it was a Christmas wedding. So this was 15 years ago or so. And she had this dark blue Appalachian Brewing Company sweatshirt that was like her favorite sweatshirt ever. And she wore it around because it was cold in the hotel in the middle of December in Bethlehem, PA. She wore it around until it was time for the wedding when she was a bridesmaid and had, took it off and her shoulders were exposed and it was this cold. And she left the sweatshirt in the hotel room. And we called back the next day. I forgot my sweatshirt. So one of the cleaning ladies at this hotel has an ABC sweatshirt, circa 2004. And over the years, I bought her a couple of other things. But the new logo freshens it up. So I could probably fill that little maybe before I leave tonight.
Hey, there you go. It's a perfect. You were wondering what to get her, so there you go. And just tell her to keep a leash on it so she doesn't leave it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's no different, Artie, than any other. The Philadelphia Phillies, the Eagles, over the years, they change things up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and you do it because not only should you do it so that the brand evolves with time, but also so that you open up other marketing opportunities and offer your customers something new. I want to have the newest thing. I want to be in with the changes. I don't want to. Sometimes change is hard. But change is almost always good.
Yeah, I agree. Change is hard, and it took us a long time to get to the point where we could actually go away from that because change requires the right ideas, and that's important, very important. But then you have to go all in. You don't have a chance. Mm-hmm. You can't go halfway on those types of things. So, once you go all in, you go all in. But you don't forget who you were and what got you there. That logo that got us there, you'll still see it on just about everything we produce because that is just that's what carried us for so long, and we never want to let that go.
No, and so at some point it'll be retro or whatever, classic, or I don't know what the word is, but it's always cool. It's the original, and the first is always the best.
That's right.
All right. All right, we're going to wrap things up when we come back here on the Appalachian Brewing Company podcast. I want to tell you quick about the Abbey Bar at Appalachian Brewing Company in Harrisburg, your premier destination for live music, special events, and great party space. If you want to learn more about upcoming shows and how to book a room for your special event, just go to abcbrew.com. All right, back here to wrap things up. And Artie, we've been talking about the holidays. It's been a nice theme, a couple of traditions that we talked about, cutting down the trees and, taking the growlers of, fresh ABC beer over to the family party. I actually have a kind of a funny story. My cousin is going to be getting an ABC gift this holiday season because my cousin Rich, who lives in Mechanicsburg, by the way, which is, I want to run down some of the ABC locations here in a minute, Mechanicsburg being one of them, calls me up one day and he's like, hey, I was at this golf tournament and I won this kayak. And he's like, it's a really nice kayak. It's a fishing kayak. He knows I'm big into fishing. And he says, you won it? And of course I won it. So I look it up and it's a pretty pricey kayak. It's more than I might have bought for myself. So I went over to his place, picked up the kayak, and I've been thinking forever about how, so what am I going to do? So we got a party at his place coming up this weekend, and my cousin Rich, big fan of Moscow Mules. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
Appalachian Brewing Company ginger beer. It's a spicy ginger beer, if you will. It's the best. Try the rest. They won't compare. Appalachian Brewing Company ginger beer. So my cousin Rich, who is getting a case of that,
nice,
in exchange for I'm sure he put some tickets into the bowl that he won the the kayak out of. But to that point, my wife has received ABC gifts in the past, clothing. Run down something. It's sort of a one-stop shop. You think about beer, you think about food, but you can actually get a lot of things off your list by coming into any ABC location.
Yeah, men, women, we have everything you could want. Outerwear, beanies, hats, flannels, just about, of course, T-shirts, a wide variety of T-shirts,
right.
Short sleeve, long sleeve, beer to go. Whatever you need for your holiday party, we have it here at Appalachian Brewing Company.
Don't forget gift cards, like bottle openers.
Oh, yeah, gift cards, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know that, I can buy a membership to the Mug Club for somebody, but I could. You
can gift
okay.
a membership to the Mug Club. That's right. Even better.
Nice. I was going to say a growler.
I might gift you one this year.
Ooh,
Mike.
that would be sweet. I would like that. All right. So we talk a lot about our original brew pub location because it's the main brewery, and people know 50 North Cameron Street in Harrisburg is just an awesome place to come. But there are ABC locations near you in all of South Central Pennsylvania. Lidditz, 2 locations in Gettysburg. Shippensburg, awesome location. Mechanicsburg, and the Mechanicsburg Appalachian Brewing Company Soda Works. The factory is located there. It's another amazing location. And, of course, the headquarters here in Harrisburg. They've all got that little personality to them. All the people who stop in, you got the locals, you got the tourists. Talk about Gettysburg, for instance, Artie. I mean, you have 2 locations. Talk about a town that can sustain 2 locations. There's something special going on in Gettysburg.
Well, that's right, Mike. We I don't know if you remember, but we opened the first location in 2003, and we were there for 12 years, I think. And the state park system came in and sort of bought that area, tore down our restaurant, tore down everything but General Lee's headquarters, and now it's a national park. We might have lost that location, but when we opened our second location there in the Gateway Plaza Presidential Circle right there on 11 and 15, it was because we already had employees. We had to find a place for them to hang out, always knowing that we were going to open another location in Gettysburg somewhere. So then we ended up opening replacing the location that we had in Gettysburg with a new location on South Steinwehr Avenue. And amazingly enough, Mike, everybody had become used to going to the other location. So it stayed busy, and our other one was great for tourists. A lot of the locals would go to the Gateway one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the summer tourists, because Gettysburg's got the National Military Park, and people are coming in from all over. But asking Alexa, where's the closest place to get a beer?
That's right.
Oftentimes, we'll turn up ABC on Steinmore Avenue.
Yeah, it's a great place to go for a day trip if you want to go,
Right.
or even you want to get a hotel room. There's got to be 12 hotels right around that location.
I have cousins from Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and they come to they come to Gettysburg once a year for the marathon. And so they run the Gettysburg, is it the half or the full marathon, whatever it is. But it's whatever. They're runners, and they come and they stay over, and they go every night. They're there for 2 nights, and both nights they eat at the new location in Gettysburg. So
really? That's great to hear.
It's doing the job, and it's beautiful. You've got an outdoor beer garden there.
Oh, that beer garden and the walk up, what we call the Schwemmer, the walk up window where you can purchase beer outside in the beer garden is just amazing. It's just a great place to go, and that part of town is really cool.
Okay, well, you can't go wrong if you want to visit any of the locations. Lidditz, Gettysburg, Shippensburg, Mechanicsburg, and of course Harrisburg. For everything from the clothing to the gift cards that'll get you the beer and the food, to the Mug Club membership that you're going to buy for somebody that's going to get them hanging out with you a little bit more often. It's just a cool place. You can really knock a few things off of your Christmas list, whether it's the main present or the stocking stuffer. You want to think ABC around the holidays. All right, well, I want to thank Artie Tafoya, the Brewmaster, for joining us. It's been a lot of fun to catch up with you. I haven't seen you for a while. So, Artie, as we wrap things up, I want to say to you, Merry Christmas, and of course, cheers.
Cheers, Mike. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas.